So when you pull up the plugin version of Loop Elements Pro, you'll instantly see that you have the same kind of flow. But when you open up what would normally be the set list inside of the live version of Loop Elements, or the standalone version of Loop Elements, you see just the scenes, right? We stripped away all of the live features for the DAW version or the plugin version of Loop Element, because those things are handled by the DAW, like your BPM, tap tempo, all of those different things like that. Anything BPM related is handled via the DAW, whatever you're using. So you don't need tempo controls and all of those things inside of the plugin version. So the plugin version is like a little bit stripped down in terms of those host features, because you need those in the standalone version, but you don't need them in the plugin version. And so the same goes for the set list mode, or what we call scene mode as well. Inside of the plugin version is stripped down. You don't need all of the set lists, picking multiple loops, all of those different things like that. For the DAW version or the plugin version, you just need this ability to utilize scenes. So if you're familiar with if you've used Loop Elements before and you use it inside of a DAW, use the plugin version, then you're familiar with, the way to, that it syncs to the host. So like I can play a song. So I got these set of stems, Christmas stems.
Intro, 2, 3, 4.
So as you know, Loop Elements, that's kind of the way to that you've been able to do it inside of the DAW to this point. And then like if you wanted to like actually use it, you can drag the MIDI out, right? And you'd have this whole thing, and then you'd stretch your loop throughout the entire song or what have you, and then play it like that, right? That would be a way to do it, right? So what we tried to do, that's still possible. All of the host syncing features and everything are still in there. But what we tried to do with this particular update is with this to capitalize on the scenes, right? So here I have some scenes here built in. Right? So I got all of my scenes right there, right? Locked and loaded, ready to go. So now, remember like the whole thing in the live version where you could use the MIDI controller to switch the scenes? Well, if you mouse over that little word, C4, I can now drag this out into the DAW, right? And I can say, I'm using this for my intro. All the way through, we'll loop it to we get here. And
3. Intro, 2, 3, 4.
So say we want this next part or whatever in there for, let's see if we can see what we want. Maybe we want that for the chorus part or what have you when it first comes in or whatever. And then we want to drag that out, right? You know what I'm saying? Then maybe we want to bring it back in full at the end of this.
Chain 2, 3, 4.
And maybe we want to bring this
chorus 2, 3, 4.
See what I'm saying? So it's like a different workflow. You can take your scenes and literally drag them out into the DAW and build your own kind of flow from the scenes. So you take your loop and set it up. I think that's just a really, really, really cool workflow. And then you can watch it literally switch scenes
Chorus
from
2,
part to
3,
part.
4.
You know what I'm saying?
Change 2, 3, 4. Chorus 2, 3, 4.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's just a super dope way to like get creative with loop elements inside of the plugin version. It's kind of like the ultimate vision that I've kind of had with loop elements in terms of it being a creative tool. Yes, you know, you have the live features, you have all of those different things like that, but it also gives you the space and the opportunity to be able to create with it apart from the live environment, being able to bring it up into your DAW and then load those loops straight in and be able to just go for broke, you know what I'm saying? And lock it in or what have you. So that's in a nutshell all of the major updates as it relates to Loop Elements Pro. So again, we have the scenes, and then if we go back here to the live version, I overview all of the stuff. You got the ability to create new presets at a click, scale through random presets at a click. You know, we got big save and delete buttons. We got fader linking to be able to link faders together all in one. We added in over 75 brand new loops that you guys have here, 75 different loops that you guys can play with and have fun with it. We added in over 150 new presets. They're scattered throughout the entire thing. So like if you go to the church folder, there's a bunch of new loops in there. If you go to the worship folder, there's a bunch of new loops in there. We just scattered the loops across the entire, you know, thing. They're in their respective folders for that or what have you. We also added in a brand new preset pack called New Smack City with the most smacking loops that you have ever heard. They are locked in there. That's in there. And then the cherry and the icing on the top is the set list feature inside of Loop Elements Pro 1.5, being able to have not just songs in a set list, but scenes for those songs, being able to adjust your volume per loop, being able to have your click, your out, all of those things kind of ready to rock and roll. And I think this is our biggest update yet. And I hope it adds in a ton of features that you guys are going to hopefully be able to use right away, right out the box, and be able to get some functionality of it. That's our commitment to continuing to build and scale and make this into what I hope is going to be the best, the best, the best way to create loops on the entire planet. I think Terry Baker said it best. He said, if you don't have loop elements, you're not looping.